Thousands of tires touch this pavement every day, but it is exceedingly rare for anyone to be in here on foot. In fact, it's only possible because MnDOT is gearing up for a major construction project here in the Lowry Hill Tunnel. It'll focus on two things: the pavement, which MnDOT says is in dire need of being resurfaced, and these tiles, some of which, as you can see, have already fallen out. Make no mistake, this is going to be a very big deal for drivers, and one of the state's most notorious bottlenecks, both complicated and congested, even in simpler times.
Riding along in my automobile, my baby beside me at the wheel.
Designed in 1961,
the infamous Minneapolis bottleneck is breaking up.
and completed a decade later.
Without ceremony, several highway trucks rolled to the entrance of the tunnel, scraped up the barricades, and traffic began flowing through the new facility.
Planners hope digging the ambitious quarter-mile tunnel for I-94 right through the heart of the state's largest city
Minneapolis Public Works employees are installing 6-inch water mains and fire hydrants.
would reduce traffic and crashes at Hennepin and Lyndale Avenues, at the time one of the most dangerous intersections in the state.
In 1962, 96 accidents were reported at this one site.
Designer Marty Romano left his home in New Jersey to work on the project here in Minnesota
I left my footprint here.
and never left.
Let's see what we have here.
So these were just in your basement?
Collecting dust for cobwebs.
This is the 92-year-old's original sketch.
We had Lyndale coming in, right? We had Hennepin Avenue coming in with their 4 lanes each, and 6 lanes from 94, I-94 coming through. It was 14.
And the complex design wasn't Romano's only problem.
I had to locate this bridge.
To prevent dangerous soil movement underneath nearby Hennepin Avenue Methodist Church,
A pile of earth indicated the site of tunnel construction.
construction crews built what's called a freeze wall, literally freezing the ground between the church and the tunnel using piping and refrigeration equipment. Concerns over vibrations prompted the Walker Art Center, also under construction at the time, to move a prized jade collection,
The tunnel was supposed to open early in September.
and officials delayed the tunnel's grand opening more than a couple of times.
Engineers discovered the difference in brightness between the outside and inside of the tunnel could potentially cause drivers to lose control when entering the tunnel. So more lights were ordered.
But while this project was meant to alleviate traffic and took years and years to complete, today's view from 10,000 feet, so to speak, is quite a bit different.
In a best-case scenario, in a world where funding didn't matter, you had as much money as you needed, this project would be completely different, correct? Correct.
In 2017, with about 160,000 cars driving through the Lowry Hill Tunnel every day, Tim Nelson is the guy in charge of the construction.
Traffic's already backing up, and it's only 2 o'clock.
Nelson admitted that while this summer's construction will certainly cause traffic, it has absolutely nothing to do with alleviating it in the future.
We're not adding any lanes, we're not increasing capacity, we're not making it look better, we're just trying to make it last longer.
But that doesn't mean the work will be easy or cheap. It's arguably the most complicated part of a $45 million project spanning 9 miles of I-94.
If you think about the ground zero of congestion in the state of Minnesota, it's the Lowry Hill Tunnel.
I asked MnDOT Commissioner Charles Zelli why we're spending so much money for a temporary fix. He pointed to funding issues that forecast an $18 billion shortfall over the next 20 years.
Patch this lane, patch that lane, repair that bridge. That's what's disruptive, because that keeps happening year after year.
Republicans did pass a bill this legislative session calling for more than $5 billion in transportation funding over 10 years, paid for by existing revenue. Governor Mark Dayton then vetoed the bill, however, calling for increased license tab fees instead.
It sounds like you're saying, hey, all this extra traffic this summer, if we don't get funding,
You better get used to it.
This is going to be the story of living in Minnesota if we don't get our act together. That's true.
It's already the story of living in Minnesota. For instance, much of the Lowry Hill Tunnel tiling will be replaced for the very first time this summer. It's been in Minnesota just as long as Romano. Now, I imagine you probably don't drive this stretch much these days.
I don't drive at all down here. I stay away from this. You get a sheet of paper and you start drawing, and look what comes out. That's amazing, you know?